Let's go ahead and jump into a demo of how you like to configure your agentic team.
So it was chaotic for me. I need control and I need visibility. So it was chaotic for me to just have 10 different terminals working on 2 different things at the same time and jumping between the developer and the PM, because I do give them the agents, I give them roles, and I give them personality, and I give them names. And so I have Mario, he's a product owner and PM because I bundle them together in this case. It has a personality, it knows the rules and how to work. We have a prompt here because we're going to create a web-based soccer trivia because we're in the World Cup. So I'm going to give this team the same prompt as I'm going to give Claude in a separate one. And we will see how they do it.
So what we're looking at right now is Hive, where you have a collection of agents that are basically taking on different typical software development roles. You said Mario is a combination of a project manager and a product owner type of role. And then you've got some other agents here, Neymar, Xavi, Zidane, Jane, right? So they're like software development roles, or
there's software developer roles. Yeah. Mario, the PM, the 2 developers that I already spawned up, and Mario will spawn a new code reviewer, and he knows the flow. So he's going to create the PRD. Then the tech spec, we're going to go check it because we need to check it. You need the human there to catch anything. And then he will create the epics and the tasks and assign them to the devs. The devs will implement them, give them to the code reviewer. Code reviewer will approve or ask for changes and go back and forth if that happens. And Mario has permission to merge in this case. Normally, I would do it myself.
So what we're seeing scrolling through in the window here, so you gave a prompt about building this World Cup trivia application. And we're seeing in Hive all of the different users. So like you said, you don't have to flip between a bunch of terminals. Hive lets you kind of look across those agents, right? So Mario is filling in some of the requirements based on the prompt that you created. What are we looking at here in the screen now?
Yeah, he's asking me about the stack. What should we be using? I said, yeah, let's go with React, Express, and SQLite. The identity for demo purposes, because we're not going to set up, login, authentication, and everything. I'm just going to say nickname only. How about the content? So what questions it should be asking? Just a mix of 2026 and history questions about the World Cup. And in the meantime, and this is going to go super fast, we're going to give the same prompt to a separate Claude agent, but without the whole structure. So I'm not going to give it the structure and the tech spec and the PRD. He's going to build it super fast.
So we've got a little bit of a competition going here now between your agentic developers running with more of a spec-driven development approach, where you've given more tech details and specifications behind the scene. Mario, the PM agent, is able to ask you questions and you're able to give it feedback. So that's what we're seeing on the right-hand window. And in the left hand, we're looking at just Claude, more of a vibe coding approach, where you've given a short 1-paragraph wish, shall we say, of what you want this application to be. And we're just going to let Claude go just with that smaller amount of instructions and see what happens, basically. So we'll get a little real world demo here, the differences potentially between vibe coding and a more formal spec-driven agentic development approach.
Correct. And the spec-driven is going to take longer. Like, we know that it's going to take longer, but it's going to be more robust and stronger. The vibe coded one, it's going to be super fast.
Right. So how are our agents doing? Let's check in on them. So what we're looking at right now is what was vibe coded with a 1 paragraph basically to Claude.
And what it did was an index HTML single file. From the looks, it looks okay. It asks the questions: what trophy do World Cup winners lift? FIFA World Cup trophy. Which country won the 2018 World Cup? France.
France, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's working, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
asking questions. It keeps the
Yeah.
score. How many
So this is a pretty good looking game that we've
Yeah.
gotten from the Vibe Coder. And based on my knowledge of World Cup trivia anyways, it's asking good questions and knows the correct answers. And we're having a little bit of fun with it. So this, vibe coding gives us something cool here, right?
Yeah. So I wanted to finish it to know, okay, so it has the leaderboard and I can play again. Okay, so let's say this one's Arin. But this is an index HTML file.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. We've got a single page HTML JavaScript website, I presume. Nothing else
If we
to
were
it, perhaps.
If we were to deploy this and there was another user running it in their computer, it still works. Let's say this one's real, but there were no leaders. So it won't work for production, right?
Right. It's completely ephemeral. It's just what's done within that browser session, completely ignorant of other users playing the game.
Correct. And security-wise, I mean, it's all in local storage, probably. Let's see.
We could probably just look up the answers in the JavaScript, right?
Yeah. Or we can see the code probably, and it could be easily hackable and manipulated, right?
Exactly. So fun game for a demo purpose. If you were trying to show somebody, hey, let's build a World Cup trivia app, or if you're just using this for personal use and you want to practice some trivia, then yeah, this works. Vibe coding is great, right?
Yeah.
But
if you wanted to have this production, like I imagine the users when they vibe code something they want to take it into the world and have their family and friends try it.
You're going to go try and make money off this, or even worse, you're going to turn this into like a betting app where the answers are given away in the JavaScript code.
Correct.
That would be awful.
It would be awful. But if you don't know, if you're not technical, you say, wow, this is amazing. It looks good.
Right.
The colors are great.
Done. The code's 80% done.
Exactly. And how do I put it? Oh, I'll deploy it. Okay, perfect. You deploy the index HTML file.
How are our agents doing on the more spec-driven application?
Our agents are still going, but they have a server, they have a client, they have a database, index, scores, seeds of questions. They're doing the work. This one's going to be
This is looking more like a real application. This is
correct. So yeah, it's going to take longer, but it's going to be better. It's going to be stronger. It's going to, I'm sure I could take this deploy it into production. And and I don't know if 5,000 people could play it, but at least the leaderboard is going to stick.
You're building something here with the agents that is at least the foundation for what you can take to production, right? It may still not be like a one-shot prompt or a one-shot spec.
No.
You're still going to go through iterations of this. You're still going to want to do things that frankly slow down the life cycle of the software in a good way, meaning okay, let's get a few versions of this out. Let's now take it to users. Let's get some feedback from users. Let's have some people play the game. Let's see what problems they run into, just like we would have done in the past, right? So we're not building a whole company in a weekend still. There's still intentional time delays between the work. It's allowing us to build an application that it still very quick, faster than we used to, right? For sure. Super. But also in a way that is more responsible agentic development that we can take to production. How are our agents doing on the code? Let's go take a look.
Okay, so I like it UI wise, it has a degradado and it has some movement.
In this version that we're seeing created by the agents, we do have a cleaner interface, as you said. We have a stronger architecture behind it, tests being developed, and database, and some, you've intentionally not asked it to build in a lot of security in this one, but it looks really clean. If we were non-technical people and we sort of compared the Vibe coded one versus this one, visually we would see differences for sure, but they might be close enough that we would, without knowing any better, we'd look at just the top level UI and say, oh, those are both 90% done. That's awesome, right? When in reality, what's behind the scenes, what the agents have developed for you here, with more of your more detailed specs and security concern and everything else, built into it, is a much more comprehensive application. Oh yeah, but now we're seeing the leaderboard working across different runs of the application.
So
which is something the Vibe coded app did not do as a single page HTML page.
Correct.
Yeah, undoubtedly the agents did a nicer visual job as well as a better technical job, and we've got something here that could be the foundation of going to production. Thanks for showing us those demos, Andrea. And I think it is an interesting example of how of the differences between Vibe coding and agentic development,